Today, I am flipping the script on gratitude. Yes, the science is in. We know gratitude works. There was a Harvard study done, and people who practiced gratitude were healthier, they slept better, they went to the doctor less. I mean, win-win. But you guys, when people practice gratitude, it's always external facing. They're grateful for the people in their lives, the things in their lives, always something out there. But when is the last time you actually thanked yourself? Yeah, think about it. I mean, we talk a lot about building trust, self-confidence, knowing your worth, but how are you going to do that if you don't actually have a practice? So we are going to spend some time thanking ourselves today. Welcome to Small Talk with Sheila. I'm your host, Sheila, and this is the podcast where we take self-help concepts and take a spin on them, make it a little bit more real, relatable, and create new practices that we can use literally today. So you know what to do. Light your Sheila candle, grab a beverage of your choice. I am having red wine today because I deserve it. And let's get into it, starting an internal gratitude practice. Okay, so I thought, how am I going to actually talk about this? And I thought the best way that I could talk about an internal gratitude practice is by doing one live with all of you. Now, I have to say, this was not easy for me. It really wasn't. I know. I literally had to text one of my friends. She's like somebody that I'm very close to. We voice note all the time and we just share a lot. And so she's always saying to me oh, I'm so proud of you. And so when I was thinking what am I thankful for myself for? I couldn't really think of anything. I know, right? It's so crazy. If you ask me to be grateful for external things, oh my gosh, it's so easy. But when I thought, what am I grateful for myself for? It was really hard. And so I sent my friend Sabrina a message. I'm like, what are you proud of me for? And she mentioned a couple of things and they made sense. And there was this one thing where I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that, but you're totally right. I should be grateful for myself for that. So let's just get into it. I know this is a fun, awkward episode, but you know what? I'm going to do it in hopes that you do it too. Okay, so the first thing that I want to thank myself for this year is my consistency. Now, this is another thing I want to mention about gratitude practice. You can't just be super general. You can, but that's not when things change for you. It's when you get really specific, like anything in life. So you can't just say oh, I'm so grateful for the weather. You have to say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful when I was walking today, this breeze came through, or I'm really grateful for this moment when my husband did this thing and then we watched this movie together and we felt really, you get the idea. So I'm going to get really specific here. So the first thing that I thank myself for is the fact that I've been consistent. And I've done this really well in this past year in two ways. One is with my coaching. I have a coach. I'm really lucky. Through my work, I get a coach that I get to work with, and she's amazing. And I've been talking to her for years, and I've had some amazing coaches in my life, you guys. If you need a coach, please let me know. I would love to refer you to the many amazing coaches that I've worked with. Sometimes I work with a couple of coaches at the same time because, I'm into that. But anyways, I've been really consistent with my coaching practice. I make appointments with her every week. I'm really committed to being honest. When she gives me homework assignments, I really do them. I come to her with hard problems and we work through them together. And I've been really, really consistent, every single week. Sometimes I'll do 2 sessions in a week. And it has really been a game changer. I know the reason I started this podcast is because of her. She really encouraged me. It was one of my homework assignments. I had to record a podcast episode and send it to her before I even did any of this. So I am so grateful for her, but I'm also grateful for me because I'm the one doing the work. And the second thing I'm really grateful for, honestly, is my consistency in this podcast. It's been a year since I started it. I've showed up no matter what. I had bi-weekly episodes in the beginning, and then I switched to weekly, and I've made every single deadline. I mean, sometimes, it's been in the last minute, but I've made every single deadline and I've showed up in the space. And I mean, I think consistency, and this is like in any area of your life, in the beginning, you might not be that great at it. And I knew that, I knew that maybe like my first few episodes wouldn't be that amazing. And I would keep getting better because I had consistency. And that can relate to your writing or working out or getting into a health regimen or saving money. It doesn't matter, but that consistency is something that's so incredibly important. And these are two areas of my life where I have really, really been consistent on, and it has shown. It really has. So that's the first thing I'm thankful for myself for. The second thing I'm thankful for myself for is I have been building more self-trust. Yeah, that has been something that I have really been working on, especially this last year. I mean, I could definitely be that person that cares way too much what other people think or asks too many questions of what I should do to others, and really not like trusting my own instincts, my gut. Yeah, just not doing that. And so specific ways this has showed up in my life is creating boundaries. I've created a lot more boundaries this year, even as simple as with my mom, let's just say. I know she has opinions of how I should live my life in certain areas. And I've literally like created a boundary with her of like, you know what? I respect you and I love you and I understand where you're coming from, but this is an area of my life that I trust myself in, and I don't really need to hear what you think. And I've done this a lot. I've also had a lot of tough conversations this year because I think trusting yourself is like knowing that you need to have these hard conversations with people, because people, whether at work, even with the podcast, like people are going to just want to sway you in various directions. And you just have to trust yourself that you know what's right for you. That means like creating boundaries and having those hard conversations. It could be as simple as, this podcast and people thinking, oh, I should have guests. And maybe I will, maybe I won't. It doesn't matter. But I trust myself that I've wanted to create this solo driven rom-com style podcast, and that this is what I want to do. And this is where I feel the most comfortable and aligned myself to. That has been one thing. I think like even someone told me I should niche down a little bit. And I was like, I don't want to niche down. I want to talk about lots of different things. I feel like this is more of a lifestyle podcast, and I'm this human being living out this messy life. And some weeks I'm going to talk about my health journey, and some weeks I'm going to talk about my creative pursuits, and some weeks I might want to give you dating advice. I don't know, because something comes up to me, but I've been trusting myself and knowing what's right for me and what's right for my audience. And it's felt really good. So kudos to me. Thank you so much, Sheila, for doing that. I deserve a glass of wine for that one, you guys. Okay, the third thing I am thankful for myself for, my joy. Okay, this one was actually like a blind spot for me. My friend Sabrina, she was like, I'm really proud of you for, having gone through a really challenging year and still being a joyous, playful, fun person. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so right. Guys, I've been through a lot this year. I've been through things at work, obviously a lot going on with my health, just everything. I feel like everything has felt very like up and down. It's been really challenging, and I've had a lot of days where it felt like things were not going my way, and I talked it out. I cried it out. Sometimes I just ate Mama D's pasta in bed alone because I needed it. But the next day I woke up and I decided to still be joyful. I decided to put on some Persian music and start dancing because that's how I find my joy. I put on a cute outfit and did these little get ready with me videos. I really just showed up for myself in a joyful way. When my husband and I were going through a rough patch, making sure to laugh through it all, which I think humor is so important. And it's something that I thank myself for a ton, because I'm really able to see the funny in everything. And I'm really thankful for that. So I know this is like a season of gratitude, and you guys, gratitude really rewires our brain. There's science in that. And as we wrap up, I just want to remind you that as you do this external gratitude practice, which is incredibly important, please also do an internal gratitude practice. Please thank yourself for the things you've done. Be specific, get into it. Maybe do it with a friend or your partner, talk it out, but really be proud of yourselves. Like, really thank yourselves for living this wild, crazy, chaotic journey called life and making it through. You have every reason to be confident, to know your worth, to trust yourself. You really do. So usually I like to give kind of homework assignments, but today I have a very specific homework assignment. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it, wherever you find your podcasts, I want you to actually literally thank yourself. And you don't need to write it out if you can, if you're driving, or if you want, just grab your journal. I don't care. It could be as long or as short as you want, but I want you to find 3 things that you want to thank yourself for this year and be as specific as possible and really feel it. Because that's how we're going to be the most ultimate version of ourselves, when we don't neglect ourselves. And that means being grateful for ourselves. So with that, thank you so much. If you actually have someone in your life that could be a little bit more grateful and have gratitude toward themselves, or if they're a little too hard on themselves, please send them this episode. Please do this internal gratitude practice together. And I want to hear about it. Let me know. Slide into my DMs and let me know how you've been grateful for yourself this past year. With that, I just wish you guys another year of gratitude. I am thankful for all of you, and I'm thankful for myself for showing up today. Good job, Sheila. Little pat on the back.